Hello everyone, it's Nanny Moo Moo and Papa Dunk, and today we're at St. Peter's Church in Hascombe, Surrey. It's a bright but a little chilly February morning in 2026, so come along with us and see what we can discover in this church, which looks absolutely charming. Apparently, Archibald Thorburn, who was a Victorian wildlife painter, is buried in the church. Papa Dunk is trying to find his tombstone. There doesn't seem to be that many graves here. That might be the famous last words. Let's see what Papa Dunk has found. After aborting the search for the Thorburn grave, we had a look around the rest of the churchyard. As I was hoping, entering this church is a feast for the eyes. Quite ornate, and yet quite simple. A lot to be exploring, reading, and finding out about. Early history of the church is difficult to trace, but it is thought that a place of worship has been on this site since 1220. In 1862, Canon Vernon Musgrave became rector. Such was the poor state of the church that it was decided that a total rebuild was necessary to solve the multiplicity of issues. Work began in 1863. Henry Woodyer, the architect, designed the present-day church in the general style of the 13th century. As written in St. John, chapter 21, around the walls are the images of the 153 fish caught by the disciples of Jesus after his resurrection. Walking from the nave towards the chancel, your eyes are drawn to an oak screen over 500 years old, restored and painted in 1898. The church features some wonderful stained glass windows. For visitors, the church provides a useful information guide located near the entrance. Throughout the church, there are depictions of biblical figures. Looking into the ladies' chapel, which was not part of Woodyear's original design. What we found interesting is how decorative the inside of this Victorian church is, compared to the more traditional-looking exterior. Sir John Betjeman, in his Guide to English Parish Churches, called it a Tractarian work of art. Pevsner described the church as another village church with one of the best High Victorian interiors in the country. The later addition of the Lady Chapel was for the private use of the Godman family of Park Hatch. An ornate depiction of the disciples catching the fish. This floor brass is of Canon Vernon Musgrave. The domed ceiling is quite spectacular. Looking back from the chancel into the nave, you can see how the stained glass windows filter light into the church. What a lovely church St. Peter's is, with a lot of wall art and beautiful stained glass windows. So if you are in the area, do take time to come and visit the church. There is a pub nearby that might be even more tempting to make a visit. So from Nanny Moo and Papa Dunk, it's bye for now. It's bye for now.